Don't think I'll ever tire of an outback sunrise. The sun's just about to come over the horizon. Right down here below me is the Darling River, and that's going to be our constant companion for the next few days. You see, it's taken a bit to get to this point, but we finally made it out to the outback of New South Wales. And our plan is to start here, just outside of Bourke, and we're going to follow this Darling River all the way south down to Lake Menindee. I've been waiting to get out here for a long, long time. Outback New South Wales, Darling River. Let's get stuck into it. The Darling River Run is one of Australia's great outback journeys, stretching some 730 kilometres. We're doing the middle section from Bourke to Menindee and stopping in on a few iconic spots and soaking up as much of the outback lifestyle as we can. Foot down and we're into it. And our first location to explore is the Gunder National Park. Hey, you got a copy back there, Shauna?
Yeah, I sure do, mate. In all this dust anyway.
That's exactly why I was getting in touch, mate. I can't see you back there. Is you a bit dusty?
Yeah, mate, just rattling away back here.
Speaking of rattling away, you reckon we could pull over and just let some air out of these tyres, mate? Just make it a bit smoother?
Yeah, top idea, mate. That'll be a lot better ride if we do that.
You know, I think a lot of problems that people encounter when they're driving on these roads are attributed to two things. Firstly, people hit these roads and treat them like they're a highway back in the city, back at home, and they sit on the same sort of speeds out here. You shouldn't be doing that. Really slow yourself right down for these corrugations. And of course, the second problem that most people encounter out here is tyre damage due to incorrect pressures. As soon as I get off road, as soon as I get off, and that's what we've done right here today, is I drop my pressures down. Now I'm going to go down to 25 PSI right now, and there's two reasons for that. The first of which is it looks after the tracks. The corrugations that you get on these tracks are from people going too fast, their tyre pressure's too high. The second reason, of course, is for comfort. You'd be amazed how much of a difference on these roads dropping your tyre pressures down to 25 makes for the occupants within the truck, i.e. me. Really, I think the bottom line is pretty simple. Decrease your tyre pressures and decrease your speed. Better for the track, heat more comfortable for you inside your truck. Hey Shauna, we're going to hang a left just up here, mate. I want to go and have a bit of a look at a lookout, looking back over the northern part of this Gunder National Park here. So we're going to turn left just down here, mate. You're not going to see me turn left, so just keep your eye out for that turn off, mate. You should have it on the VMS.
Yeah, roger, mate. I've got it on the VMS here.
Righto, we've got a sweeping right-hander here too, mate. Just hold on to the big girl.
Control all 3 horsepower at once, mate. Hang on, both hands on the wheel.
Bennett's Gorge and Mount Gunder are pretty much the centrepiece of the Gunder National Park. It's got a day use area with barbecues and picnic tables, but we're not here for that. We're here to do the 1 kilometre walk into the Valley of the Eagle. Have a look at that, will you? I tell you, something about the outback, you don't need much of a feature or an increase in elevation in what is a fairly flat landscape to really give you an impression of height, distance and scale out here. Now, classic case of that, of course, is Simpson Desert. You go up the top of a little sand dune, you can see a long way. Now that right there is the Gunder Range. Now it's taking my theory to a whole new level. There's actually a walking track that leads to a spectacular lookout at the top of the range. But old mate Shauno, he had other ideas.
We're not going to climb that, obviously.
I'm surprised you haven't jogged up it yet, mate.
Mate, I reckon you get the best view of a mountain from down the bottom.
Do you?
You do, because you get to see the whole thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So
no point walking up there.
You're not going to walk up there?
No, just
you disappoint me,
just
Shauno.
take it in, mate.
You disappoint me on so many levels. I really thought you'd just jog up there, a young fit bloke like yourself.
Yeah, not in the middle of the day, mate.
All right. Leave it at that then.
Yeah, it's a nice view though.
Yeah, he's probably right, you know. We'll leave that one to the experienced walkers.
How beautiful is this?
Tell you what, the outback never ceases to blow me away. Gunder Range going back through here, Mount Gunder going up to about 500 metres above sea level. Bennett's Gorge, just up through here, is actually home to a whole heap of wallabies, feral goats, and other things like that that make extremely good prey for none other than wedge-tailed eagles. So the Valley of the Eagles is just up here too, and if you stay still down here and look around into the sky and get your eye in, you'll actually spot a whole heap of wedge-tailed eagles. But you know one thing you're not going to find here?
What's that?
Yabbies.
You're not going to find them here?
Nope.
Definitely not,
You're not going to find yabbies, but I know where you will find yabbies. That way.
I know. What do you say? We go for it?
I reckon we go for it. Yabbies and yellow belly.
Whee.
Yeah,
let me handle that, mate.
I'm speaking your language. Just keeping a really close eye on my fuel gauge down here. You know, even the drive out from Sydney to outback New South Wales alone, just getting here has been quite an epic. And although the D-Max is a really fuel efficient truck, there's just a few things that I like to try and keep in mind when I'm out here to maximise my fuel efficiency, minimise the cost at outback roadhouses, because as we all know, they can be a bit exy. The biggest tip I can give is that if you use the accelerator and the brake very gently as you possibly can, you're going to be using far less fuel. It also helps to look ahead of you and really anticipate what's coming up. So if you're on a long straight like I am right now, but you can see a big sweeping bend coming up that you know you're going to have to wash off speed for, anticipate it. Slow down gently and then accelerate gently when you take off again. So little things like that decrease the amount of fuel you're using. So have a bit of a think about how much you can actually fit inside the vehicle rather than storing everything up on top, because of course that causes drag. The more drag you've got, the more fuel you've got to use to push that drag through the air. In the city, heck, it's up to you. But out here in the bush, I really think it's worth your while just to put a few little driving practices together to really save your fuel. It'll save you money at the Bowser as well. Also means you can go further, stay out longer, and that's got to be good, doesn't it? Next on our hit list in Gunder Booker is the Malgowan Aboriginal rock site. I just love this stuff, you know. The walk to get to the rock art is worth the visit itself. It cuts over and between some amazing rock formations. There's really no wonder why this became a popular site for Indigenous people years ago. Have to be under here, eh, mate? What do you reckon?
Certainly are, mate. Get a load of this.
You sort of got to let your eyes get accustomed to it, don't you? And then you start seeing them.
You do. You start to see different patterns.
Yeah. I just think it's fascinating to look at these things and know that they're going back hundreds and hundreds of years, and yet they're telling people a real story about what's going on here. So the emu's telling people there's good hunting here. Circular bits are saying there's nice water pools around here, so that when other people come through, they can stop here, they can read this, a bit like a map on the wall, and know there's good hunting, know there's good water around. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but like Sean says, there's no yabbies. It does concern me greatly. No yabbies. Maybe they didn't like yabbies. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of snaps. We'll move on. Almost all of the dirt roads out here are well maintained. There can be a few hazards along the way, however, and this is bull dust. Copy, Sean, eh?
Yeah, copy, mate.
Yeah, mate, there's a little bit of bull dust here with a thicker patch coming up. You might just want to be a bit careful coming through it, mate. Treat bull dust as you would soft sand. I'm talking just the right amount of momentum and correct tyre pressures. But here is one critical tip. Once you get through the bull dust, don't stop with your window down or you will cover absolutely everything you own in a fine talcum powder like dust. We're no longer in the national park and we're closing in on the next town west of Burke. Hey Sean, you don't see a lot of bitumen out here, mate. I reckon it's an intro to the town, eh? Town of Louth.
That's right, mate. Strange name, Louth.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a claim to fame that I reckon you'll be interested in, mate. Shindy's Inn, which is the pub down here, I reckon we might even stop. They reckon they make, get this, the best potato chips for hundreds of kilometres around, mate.
Don't count me in, just speaking my language.
Here we go, town of Louth. Shindy's Inn is a classic outback pub run by Kath and Dave Marrett. It's perched right on the banks of the Darling, and I reckon it's a well-deserved stop-off during the long and dusty journey. Mate, this is just one of those cracking outback pubs, isn't it?
You've got to stop, that's for sure.
You do have to stop, and I reckon if you get to an outback pub, how are you, mate?
I'm well, thank you.
That's the way. I'm Graham.
Graham, nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. This is Shauno.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I don't think you can come to an outback pub and not have a beer, mate. We're having lunch. We can have one beer.
Have a go with this.
That's a plate of chips right there, bud.
The world famous.
The world famous Shindy's Inn.
This will do us here, eh?
Is this a New South Wales thing?
Gravy. No, they've got it everywhere, mate.
I've never seen that before. I've seen it before, but only over here.
Gravy.
It doesn't happen in WA.
That's blown my mind, mate. I have gravy on nearly everything. Roast dinners, chips.
Is that? No, that's nice, but...
We're a little bit more cultured over on the eastern side, mate. We have silks and spices over here. all the modern stuff, mate.
Have you got the internet yet?
Yeah.
Have you got electricity?
Yeah, all that. Phones.
Yeah.
Even the mobile variety.
Have a look at all this stuff, will you? Absolutely fantastic. Memories of a bygone era. It's like a little museum in here, a little time capsule, if you will, to take you back to a time and a place that so many of us just don't understand these days. You know, the little town of Louth, where we are right now, was actually established in 1859, and I bet you can guess what the very first building was. Yeah, the most important one. It was a pub. It was established, of course, to ply what was back then a very, very busy shipping channel up and down the Darling River. Of course, that doesn't exist today, but back in 1859, they were bringing wool down to here in any way they could possible. Then it was going on the paddle steamers all the way down to the ports and then shipped overseas. Same with copper from Cobar. Same sort of deal came in through this way. Around about the 1920s, of course, we got other forms of transport that made the river slowly but surely become obsolete to where it is today. Very, very infrequently used for anything more than really tourism and the odd four-wheel drive going by. But I just think places like this, little country pubs like this that have got all this stuff on the walls, this is not junk. This is so vitally important, and I reckon more Australians should get out here and really soak into this, really suck it up and learn a bit about Australia's past, a bit of Australia's history, because that right there, folks, well, that was the original four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. It even had air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Mate, that place is full of good stuff, isn't it?
It is, mate.
What are you doing?
I'm just having a look at the VMS here.
Yep.
And just planning a little route and take us over the river. And I wanted to go down to the station, Polaris Station.
That's a fair way down, isn't it?
It is a little way down, about 3 stations down.
Mate, I'm not too concerned about all that. My main concern is, have you heard what's going on with the Abbies? They running yet?
They are running, mate. I've got the hot tip from inside here.
All right, you got bait?
She said, no, not bait. I've got everything.
What sort of lures do we use?
No, mate, you leave it up to me, mate.
All right. Look at that. Look at the gobbler on that, will you? Oh my God. Get your gobbler out. Gobble him.
Well, there's only one turkey allowed. I stand corrected. There's 2. He's having a go. He's having a go with a 30. Hang on, mate.
He's eating the bugs off. This one doesn't have the vocal range, though. I have to try and call him in. You know, I've found that to catch a turkey takes a turkey. I've got this covered. I've made a new friend here. I reckon he might be better company than Shawnee. He's better looking.
Don't stress him out. Don't stress him out.
And that, folks, is how you call in a turkey. There's another way of calling in a turkey. Hey, Shawnee. That's enough turkeying around. It's time to move on. We're crossing the bridge to get to the northern side of the Darling, as we're heading for Polaris Station. This is the first time that we've actually got a visual on the river itself, and I'm pleased to see it's got water in it. We've just crossed over to the northern side of that Darling River now, and it's very flat out here. Some big floodplains out this way right now. Now, of course, the Darling River is part of the Murray-Darling Basin, which of course gets fed by summer rains in southeast Queensland. So this area here, in parts, believe it or not, the Darling River can be muddy little puddles in parts, or it can be up to 80 kilometres wide. Can you believe that? 80 kilometres wide. And it's easy to believe when you can see floodplains that go from as far as the eye can see in that direction, right down as far as the eye can see in that direction as well. It really is an absolute doozy of a river, one of Australia's greatest. Mate, there's some weird white kangaroos up here, whole heap of them.
Few little lamb roasts running around.
Mate, are these not the cleanest outback sheep you've ever seen?
Yeah, wool wash, mate. Dead set. I reckon they all use wool wash on them.
And they're in real good condition too. I mean, look at these sheep. They're big fat suckers. Look at them. Oh, that's. What are we having for tea tonight, mate?
I feel like a lamb. I don't know about you.
Lamb roast, I think, mate. Lamb roast. It's got to be. In honour of those little dudes. Have a look at the pink and grey galahs, mate, against that blue sky coming across the road. Ah, that just screams outback in my mind. Polaris Station is a lazy 85 clicks drive from Louth, and it's the perfect place to stop and make camp. Oh, hang about. Wait till you see this. Have a look at what they've got at their driveway entrance, mate. We're turning left there.
Big yabby, is it?
No, I wish it was a big yabby. We've popped by the homestead, of course, as you should, to say g'day to the station owner, whose name is Justin, and he's recommended some fantastic campsites right down by the river. What a top bloke. Hey, Shawnee, I reckon this is about the perfect time of day in the outback, mate. Don't know about yourself.
Yeah, mate, it's a magical hour, isn't it? That golden light's starting to come down, and I reckon the outback has some of the best sunsets you can imagine.
Everything about it, mate. I mean, the light's absolutely fantastic. Look at, there's a rainbow over there. But I mean, this time of day, especially when it's hot, it's starting to cool down now. Even the flies have backed off. It's like just everything takes a bit of a break at about this time of day, you know what I mean?
Mate, this is why I love the outback so much. It's moments like this, looking out and seeing the sun go down. It might sound a little bit romantic, mate, but I absolutely love it.
Go easy, Tiger. I reckon we might not give you a beer tonight.
I reckon it's only second to outback camping. I mean, that's why I come out here for.
Absolutely agree, mate. I don't think it gets much better. I just love it out here. I think it's almost an Aussie birthright. Every Aussie should get out here and have a look at the dead centre of Australia, the outback. It's a part of being an Aussie.
Yeah, too right, mate.
According to the VMS, mate, we're coming to a little crook in the river here. I don't know whether there's a campsite down here or not, but I'll push on down to it until I can't go any further. Oh man, wait till you see this. This is a campsite.
Oh yeah, this is us.
Look at that. Boom, right on the edge of the river. I shouldn't go too far here, I'll fall in. Ah, there's a couple of kangaroos on the other side getting a drink of water. Look at that, just beautiful. You think you'll get your yabby in here?
There's a pretty good chance. If I can't catch a yabby in here, mate,
You reckon?
something wrong with me.
Well, I reckon we should get yabby nets in before we even start with anything else.
I like that plan.
When I think outback, I think yabbies. They're fun to catch, they're plentiful, and they taste simply sensation. And that is why Sean is so keen to catch them. Polaris Station allows open fires in the camps alongside the river, and there is plenty of firewood around too.
What are you doing, mate?
There you go, Sean. We're getting these yabby taps ready.
Yeah.
What is that, mate?
Mate, I don't even want to show you. It's a top secret. It's my #1 go-to ingredient for big yabbies.
Okay, you see, folks, here's my problem. This is the Darling River. You'll agree with me?
It is a darling.
Yep,
Yeah.
outback New South Wales. Don't know about you, mate, but I don't think you get too many tuna and whitebait up here through the Darling. Never seen one. However,
No, you don't.
However, you definitely do find that the odd sheep will fall in the river. Yabbies will go for what they know. Sheep necks, dead sheep, you get them all through the river. Never seen a tuna up here. He's got no hope. I'm just going to get
Mate,
mine ready.
See, look, the whole principle behind this is the tuna oil is really rich and it's going to float down that river.
Yep.
And all the yabbies are going to come into my pot.
Well, we'll see about that, mate. How about
There you
winner
go.
with the most yabbies in their net buys the beers and we get to the next little outback pub.
Which is Tilpa, I think.
Tilper it'll be.
Yeah, it's quite deep there. I reckon we're in for a shot. Yeah, champion.
There's not much better than your first night in camp when you're on a big trip. The vibe just can't be beat. Couple that with a great campfire and a plate full of lamb loin chops and, well, I don't know folks, you've heard me say it so many times, but really it is as good as it gets. Saltbush lamb cutlets purchased from right out here in outback New South Wales makes them taste even better, right here in the middle of the outback. Coming up in Chapter 2, we swap 4 wheels for 2. Shauno shows us his yellow belly. That's a type of fish in case you were wondering. Well, first light from the Darling River. That noise you can hear right there is cheeky kites. There's about 3 or 4 of them circling around. The sun's just coming up behind us through the gum trees. I don't think if you were asked to paint a picture of the New South Wales outback, pink and grey galahs in the tree above us, I reckon it'll look something like this. Even have Shauno in it. Absolutely magic. Absolutely spot on, 100% magic. Having not caught a single yabby overnight, I suggested we go and see Justin, the station owner, for a bit of help. Besides, he had something planned for us as well. All right, Justin, mate, I got to say it on behalf of old matey here. He's usually a pretty good fisher, but he can't catch a yabby, and it's driving him absolutely nuts, mate. He's going nuts.
Tough going out there at the moment.
Tough going. Have you got anywhere where we can satisfy this curiosity of his to catch a yabby?
Yeah, look, good dam out here.
Yeah?
It's out here, bud. She's bloody out here, sort of northwest of Tilpa.
Now, mate, you said you had something in store for us this morning, something we can give you a hand with.
Yeah, look, we've been putting a few ewes together, little Dorper ewes.
That's sheep, Shauno.
Female.
Sheep. Yeah. You got your gumboots, mate?
Gumboots.
Gumboots. Yep. You need gumboots to chase sheep.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna go and round up some sheep
Oh, I'm in.
because they're going to China.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
And I'm not pulling your leg, boys. We've got to watch the weather.
Yes.
A bit of front coming through. Just have a look at the map here,
Yep.
and that'll give you that shows us what we can expect over the next 7 days. So, technology is a great thing. It's really puts us in touch with reality.
Yeah,
and,
I bet.
Talking 90% chance,
really?
10 to 20 mil. So
What will shut this place down?
5 mil.
Whoa, really?
So we've got to hurry. Let's
Wow.
get out there and get it
Wow.
done.
Before heading out to where the sheep are grazing, we said hello to some other station critters. Grab a little
Yeah,
squealer.
they're so hard to get. Look
Get
at
him,
it.
get him. Get him.
Oh,
Get him.
yeah. I bet you dated worse than that, mate.
Me? Look at that ass. Yeah.
Been in the bush a while, mate, but settle down. Come on.
Let's get out of here. We're heading out of the far paddock to intercept these sheep. Hey Shawnee, got me back there in the convoy, mate?
Sure you do, mate.
Hey bud, I just wanted to check in with you and see how your mustering skills are going.
Yeah, mustering skills, eh, mate? Nah, next question.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a bit the same, mate.
You've seen me have a go at trying to muster some yabbies, and that wasn't a sight to be seen.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge success. At least these are sheep. They don't have the sharp end on them.
Depends on you trying to fight, mate.
True that, true that. Well, Justin, I'm not going to lie, mate. Far better in 4 wheels than 2, but we'll give it a go.
Graham, ride baldy, lads, and never fear the spills, for the ground is full of wombat holes, and any slip is death.
I'll go in one. Trust me on that. I'll find the wombat holes. I'll find them. What's the plan, mate?
Righto. Let's head out here around this little mob of sheep.
Yep.
And we're going to walk them up to the yards, and I'll get you boys to fall in behind,
yep.
and just poke them along real quiet, eh?
Let's go and have a look at them.
Sweet as. Crank them up, boys. Station life to me and to my family is doing what you have to do when you need to do it, and you're your own boss, and we live in harmony with the land, and I'm here because I love it, and I'm pretty lucky to have a wife who loves it as well, and yeah, we just love this little spot. It's the middle of, they reckon it's the middle of nowhere, but Tilpa, if you have a look on a map, it's actually the centre of everywhere. Come and have a look at Tilpa, because I tell you what, it'll blow you away, because you won't find anything anywhere like it.
The last half of this muster was pretty darn easy. As soon as those sheep up the front got a whiff of that water trough, they knew exactly where to go. Justin, I know you're probably going to offer us a job, mate, as station hands, but we've got roads to drive and lives to save, so we're going to have to make a move, mate.
Mate, I don't like losing 2 guns. I tell you what,
No,
you guys even show a bit of potential, you know?
You reckon?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I carried him on my back a few times. Like, shoulders are sore from all that
This
weight.
bloke here, mate. Hey,
I even heard of a goat up.
you did. I saw the gate in the middle there.
I don't know what he was doing to the goat, but by geez, it was
Some strange noises coming out of there, wasn't there? Like starting a
pretty
motorbike.
scary, pretty scary.
Listen,
No.
do you mind if we go and have a look at that secret yabby hole now?
Yeah, mate. Choice.
Thank you so very
boy.
much. Good luck
Hey,
with those
Grant.
sheep.
See you, Sean.
Cheers,
You good?
mate.
There's some good looking sheep out there.
Bloody hell.
Really good looking
Right
sheep.
off.
Not
Good
in that
idea.
way.
Right,
All right, secret yabby hole. You ready?
Done. Off.
All right.
See ya.
Done deal. Cheers, man.
See ya.
Justin's told us there's actually plenty of pots already in the dam, and he said we could pull them up and just help ourselves if we rebaited them and put them back in. What a legend. That makes it so much easier. Now, we just got to find this secret spot first, and it's deep in the middle of the station. Mate, according to Justin's directions and the VMS here, this is it. We are here, the secret, the secret yabby hole.
Mate, they've talked it up. I hope it delivers.
Yeah, well, see, you've planted the seed in my brain now, and all I can think about is yabby tails.
Yeah, I reckon they'll go good over a fire, mate. Wash down with a cold beer, of course.
Oh, stop it. I think Shauno's pretty excited right about now, and to be honest, I am too. Let's park up the top here, mate, and go and have a look, eh? These dams provide water to outlying sections of the station, of course, for stock watering. Despite all the water catchments in this region, the water in this dam right now is pretty darn low, and of course, they've been having a drought out here for some time, and you can really see that here. Shall I go first, mate, or you want to go first?
No, you pull this one.
Rattle.
Your bucket ready? I got high hopes, mate.
Oh, that's a heavy. No, it's not.
No. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, there's one.
Look at that donkey.
Yeah, he's all right. They
Yeah,
get
quick.
they get bigger than that.
All right, pull this next one. Oh, look at that donkey.
There you go, a couple, 3, 4.
Oh, yes.
That's a jackpot. Mother load.
Yabby pay dirt.
Found the nest. That's a big one.
Look at that.
That's a prize yabby, that one.
You race him, take him to Windora. Alrighty, this is what we've been looking for. This is pretty much what you sort of think of when you think of yabbies in the outback, the little blue claws. That's actually not a bad size yabby. They get big in that though, eh, Shawnee?
Yeah, get much bigger, mate.
Yeah, it's a
Good size.
good eating size. I mean, that's all flesh through there.
That's a tiny one.
Yeah, that's
He's more like he's a crab.
yeah, he's a little one. Chuck him back. But this is the outback's seafood, I guess you'd say. We'll combine this with a steak or something, and we'll
good.
we'll have our surf and turf, or you might have a secret recipe. I don't know, but that's it. That's what we're looking for. Outback yabbies, mate.
You reckon there's a few more?
Well, we can only try. Yeah, have one of them.
Yeah. Oh.
Having rebaited and placed the pots back in the water, we took off with a feast of yabbies thanks to Justin. We owe you, mate. We needed to head back to camp to pack up and get on our way. At this stage, it was looking like the storm had either slowed or avoided us altogether, and to be honest, things were looking good. We'd left our yabby pots in all day next to camp, so it was time to see if we'd had much luck. Alrighty, mate, let's check these ones. I'm not even fussed. If we get them, we get them. We've already got a feed.
Mate, but the cat food, I just want to prove to you that the cat food works.
Here you go on.
Oh, here's one.
Hey.
Here's one. Two.
Four.
4 yabbies.
The yabby champion of the world.
The yabby whisperer, they call me.
The yabby
Parts
whisperer.
around the Darling, mate.
I've heard other things said.
People say you won't catch yabbies in the Darling. Mate, with the cat food, hang on.
He's a feisty little man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, get down. Get back in.
Open up.
Oh! Yes!
Oh!
Yes!
Oh!
He's a bleeder. Yes! That's brilliant. When Yabby strikes back, oh, this could be the greatest day of my life. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
He got me.
Which one was that?
Oh, the big one.
This one,
That's
here?
the biggest one in the yabby pot.
Yes, well done. I'd like to congratulate you. When Yabby bites whale.
Put him back. I'm going to eat him first.
No, you're not.
I'm going to eat him.
He might get treated to a royal victory. I'm going to get this. Check mine. You want to get mine?
Yeah. Nothing yours, waste of time, mate.
Well, Shorto, my thinking here was, mate, that all things that live in the water like a bit of structure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Somewhere to hide, you know?
Still not going to do any favours, mate.
What did you get? 4?
I got 4. All right. 4 of the best fighting yabbies.
Oh, no.
They're bitten through, mate.
Oh, no.
Must have some big ones in there.
Oh, no.
Oh, mate,
oh, this is a disaster.
Use a stick.
Yeah, all right.
Good catch, good catch.
Hang about.
Oh, yeah, you got some wrigglers.
How many, mate?
I got 4.
4?
Yeah.
Hang on.
4.
4 is a dead tie, I'd say. I've got a bit of an idea if you're up for it.
What's that?
Well, you've been spruiking just how good you are with the yabbies for quite some time.
Yeah.
I reckon we pick a yabby each and we draw a line in the sand, my friend.
No competition. What are you saying, we race them?
Windori style.
Indora races. We'll call it the Tilpa races.
Yep. Yep.
It's the decider.
Yeah, we put them in a circle. First yabby out of the circle is the victor.
I like that.
Done.
All right.
Done.
Don't, mate, I probably should warn you now,
Go on.
I've been to the Windori Yabby races.
seen
I've caught thoroughbred yabbies for racing before,
Okay.
pedigree ones,
Okay.
and you still want to race me?
Yeah. I got no problem with this because I got a bit of a secret weapon.
Oh, mate. What's the winner get?
What does the winner get? You have to buy it. You have to buy the beers at the next country pub we get to.
Yeah, you're on.
Packed up and moving on, our next stop was another great little camp spot that Justin had put us onto, but this time it was on his uncle's station a bit further west towards our goal of Menindee. You know, something I really love about these outback places, heck, something I love about driving in the bush just about anywhere is when you slow down, take your time, start to look around you as you're making up the kilometres on these long stretches. I'm not saying take your eyes completely off the road, don't do that, you're crazy. But do keep an eye out on the sides of the road because there's all sorts of things you see, and the reason I'm saying this right now is just up here we've got the mob, oh there'd be 6, 7, 8 maybe, juvenile emus just walking through the bush over here. Look at that, there isn't a parent with them, which is interesting. They must have just gotten to an age now where they're going it solo. Oh, they don't seem too concerned about me. There you go. Little opportunities like that, I reckon, make the outback. You combine them all together and that's the outback experience. Here we go, now they've just come behind that tree over there. And so I think if you just came cruising down this road right now at 110 k's an hour, I think you'd miss it. I don't think you'd quite get what it is to be in the Australian outback. But that right there, a few emus just chilling out over there. I know it's only a bunch of emus, but that is the Aussie outback, isn't it? Sean, you got a copy, mate?
Yeah, sure do, mate.
I reckon this campsite's going to have everything we need except one thing.
What's that, mate?
Firewood. What do you reckon?
Yeah, good call. How about you leave that to me?
Have a look at this, mate. Private campsite right on the banks of the Darling. Yes, please, tick.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, mate.
River camping doesn't just look good, it's also one of the more perfect spots to roll out canvas. Here's a little something I like to do, folks. The bag that your swag comes in, if you've got a bag for your swag, and if you don't, you should go and get one made up because I reckon they're one of the better investments you can make for your swag, is to keep them clean, keep the dust off them. Just zip it up and place it at the front of your swag like this, just down there. It gives you a bit of a doormat. Another good idea too, if you've got a bag with a big zipper, not this one here, just unzip it, pop your boots in there when you go to bed, zip it back up again, Stops all the little greeblies getting in your boots, and of course if it rains, keep your boots dry as well. Just a handy little tip. You've got an abundance of water for cooking, washing up. It's also a focal point for wildlife. Sunsets, the birds come in, the place really comes alive. Shauno's offered to cook tonight. He's got everything he needs in the Waco, so it's time to hand the reins over to Shauno's cooking segment. Go for it, mate.
G'day guys. Tonight on the menu we've got something really special. We've got chili burgers with a lot. Now the good thing about burgers is they're really easy to make. You can get the kids involved. It really doesn't take many ingredients, and you can have probably more healthy and better tasting burgers than you'd probably buy in a shop. Fair bit of chili here. You really don't need to go overboard in the chili. I think tonight we will. Chili straight in the bowl. Next up we're going to cut a few onions up. Try and get them as fine as you can. Now that onion's all chopped up, go straight into the bowl. What we've got here is just beef mince. I like to use usually half beef mince and half pork mince, but this time we didn't have the choice. We're out in the bush at the moment, so we just got beef mince. That's okay.
Pineapple beans.
Pineapple, mate.
This is a real
making Aussie
burger,
burgers. That's
real Aussie burger.
no doubt about it.
What have you got down here?
So what we've got in here, it's just pretty straightforward. We've got the onion, we've got the chili, we've got the mince. Now, this is where things get interesting. This separates your hobby chefs from your real professionals, mate.
Which one are you, mate?
Neither. Got an egg.
Oh, look at it.
That's a secret ingredient as far as I'm concerned. So what I've done is just crack 2 eggs straight into the bowl. Now, the eggs are mainly to make that all stick together. And Graham's got the other ingredients going to help bind it all together. What's that, mate? Breadcrumbs.
Yeah, mate.
You really just want to combine all those ingredients together, including the egg, the chili, oh wow. Look at that, that's coming together quite nice. And those eggs, you can really feel them starting to bind in together. So that's making it nice and sticky. To make the burger patty, just grab a generous / man-size portion of the mince, just put it on a ball, and you just want to flatten that right down. What are you saying, we get them onto the fire?
Yeah.
Cook them up. Nice and hot, mate.
Go easy. It is hot. You said that was beef.
That's right, mate, beef.
It's not kangaroo.
No, or goat, or anything else.
Because I was going to say, there's been a couple of times on this trip
It's come
where
close.
we could have had emu the other day as well.
I saw that.
It was very
that,
close. Very, very close. I tell you what, I haven't driven in the outback much at night in New South Wales and WA I have, and I just can't recommend lights more highly.
And more importantly, setting your lights up properly, getting the most out of your lights, I reckon. I got a new set of those 9-inch penetrators from NQ Crash.
Thank you, yep.
LED technology, mate.
Oh.
I'll never look back. And the first thing I did was went out there and just adjusted them so they suited my vehicle.
Yep.
I've got a lifted vehicle, and I just adjusted them on a nice dirt road. I pointed them so they were pointing right down as far as I could get them to go
Then you
down.
tighten them up.
And tighten them up and adjust them all properly.
Yep, that's the beauty of the outback. I mean, sometimes it is hard to find a road that's long and thin. What's that?
That's a rod. There's a rod.
Have you got a fish?
I think I've got a fish.
Well, no, you go,
Hang
mate.
on
I'll
a
look
sec.
after the burgers. No, that's fine. While I'm flipping burgers, Shauno's into the fish again, but this time he might actually have what he's been looking for. It's his first yellow belly. Look at that.
Mate, this is my first yellow belly. I don't do a lot of freshwater fishing, but I've been trying for yellow belly for quite some time now. All right, mate, let's say we let you go. You can grow up. There you go. How cool is that?
What do you want first, mate? Do you want burger first?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. You gonna bother with sauce?
No.
What you do is you grab your pineapple out of there. The hole in your pineapple goes over your egg yolk.
Oh, settle down.
The hole in your
Settle
pineapple
down.
goes over your egg
You're getting
yolk,
carried away, mate.
so that when you then put your beetroot on, like this, it fills the hole. See that? Then you put the lid on. Whoa! Put the lid on.
Yeah, I'll have mine eaten before you even made
You've
yours.
got a captive audience right there.
Mmm. Oh yeah. Cheese and pineapple.
Wow. How good is it?
Oh mate, this is sensational.
What a great way to end the night. Homemade chili burgers, Shauno's first yellow belly, a camp down by the Darling River. Folks, doesn't get much better than this. Stick around. Coming up in Chapter 3, we saddle up our yabbies for the race to end all races. We get stuck in an outback pub. Not a bad place to be. We're up pretty early this morning. In fact, so early, the sun is only just peeking over the horizon. best time of the day if you ask me.
Oh, yep, there's one.
It's not that I don't trust you.
Always give it half a dozen good turns. That nearly came off there.
Yeah.
You can actually do it without the lid.
Yeah, you can.
What's that?
Yeah, go on. Oi! What are you doing?
Just give it a good old swirl. There you go.
Me.
That's how you do it.
Jeez.
It's hot.
Shauno is making a bush billy tea to start the day, and I reckon it's time to go over the plan. Want to see the plan?
Yeah.
Plan of attack. We are just up here, right on the junction here. And I reckon, well, I don't know how we'll go, but there's Menindee Lakes right down the bottom there.
Yeah, wow.
I reckon we try and push, well, let's just push along the southern road all the way down through. Actually, what you could do is swim.
Racer.
And I'll meet you at Menindee, down at the lakes there. You swim in.
Mate.
No, I think.
I want to get straight down there, cast the line, catch
Yeah.
the Abbey.
Yeah, I've heard the fishing's good down there, Menindee Lakes.
Good.
Yeah, they
I've read it
fishing
on
comps the
website.
whole lot. Yeah.
Good.
I reckon we pack up, finish a cup of tea and get going.
Plan, mate.
How good is this? Another absolutely picture perfect start to an outback day. You know, no matter where I am, wherever I'm travelling around Australia, no matter what truck I'm using, I try to get myself into a bit of a routine every morning. Have my breakfast, grab myself a coffee, and then just take a time and go around the vehicle and just do a few basic checks just to make sure everything's in order. And those checks don't need to be terribly extravagant. You don't need to be a mechanic to do this, but just have a bit of a look at your oil levels or your fluid levels inside here. This is a modern vehicle, so I'm not expecting anything, but that's when you usually find something, isn't it, when you're not expecting it. So I'm just looking inside the engine bay to make sure I don't see any drip marks, any moisture marks. That would indicate to me that something's not right, something's leaking. Have a quick look at all your hoses, just make sure they're all where they should be, everything's tight enough. Like I say, you can see the fluid levels very easy on these modern trucks. I can see max and min levels here, that's pretty easy. I'm going right the way through and making sure I've even got water in my washer bottle over here so I can keep my windscreen nice and clean. And just generally having a quick look inside the engine bay to make sure everything's where it should be. Now, if you do that over a period of 4, 5, 6 days, you're going to notice if anything goes wrong, aren't you? Because if you've seen it on day 1 and it's not the same on day 2, 3, 4 and 5, you can address it and have a look at it. Doesn't just stop at the engine bay though. Like I say, a couple of minutes in there, grab yourself a cup of coffee and move around the vehicle. I reckon that's the way to rock and roll. Another really good practice to get into. And again, I'm not suggesting you get real fanatical about this and get under here with a tarp and a torque wrench, but just jump down, have a quick look underneath your vehicle, and what you're trying to spot, this is going to sound a bit crazy, but you're trying to spot clean areas. Anything that's clean or hasn't got dust on it, especially out here in the outback, it's going to suggest it's moved. Because if you can imagine, if something's sitting still and it's getting coated in dust, the dust will build up on it. But if something's rattled loose or is moving, it's going to shake and rattle as you're driving, the dust's going to fall off it. So looking for anything that's clean or has moved out of place, and if you do have a notorious nut or bolt, and don't start saying the nut behind the wheel, but if you do have a notorious nut that you know is going to move loose, sometimes your spotties come loose, a really good tip is to get yourself some whiteout. Remember that from school? You used to make a mistake, you put a bit of whiteout over the top, and just put a line in whiteout across the nut and the bolt, and that way you can always see if they're not matching up, it's moved, something's turned. You can get under there with a spanner, tighten her up. And again, this is just something you're doing 30 seconds under here before you get going in the morning. Don't get too fanatical about it, but it's a great idea. It's a massive storm front approaching. Now, if we get the rain that's predicted, and they're predicting some of the biggest rains they've had in several years, but if it rains here, this stuff just turns to black soil. Ain't going to get out of here, and we could be stuck here a week, perhaps 2 weeks. Now, we do have to move on, and so we've made the decision. We've talked to the boys, talked to the crew, everyone's made the decision that we're going to move on now, pack up, head into Tilpa tonight, go to the pub, maybe have a pub feed, a couple of beers, and see if this big storm does come through, and at least then we're in a better position to move on if we do get stuck. At least we're in Tilpa if we do get stuck. So we'll get the swags on, we'll get out of here, say goodbye to this absolutely perfect campsite. I've loved every minute of it. With the Isuzu out front, I'm leading the way as the storm builds up just above us. We'd made it, but just in the nick of time before the skies really did open up. Well, as you can see, we've made it off the station and we've had to wait out the worst of the weather here at the Tilpa pub. Not a bad spot to wait too, mate.
No, great spot.
Now, let me describe it to you because it's a cracking spot. All over the walls is writing. Everywhere you look, there's not, in fact, you'd be hard pressed to find a spot left in here to write your name. The idea is, of course, you put $2 donation, you don't have to put $2, you can put as much as you like. into the bucket for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and you get to write your name on the wall, and I reckon there'd be thousands.
Exactly, mate. Great cause.
It is a great cause. We're going to put some money in. Shauno's going to put some money in. Good work, mate. So whilst we're stuck here at the Tilpa pub, it could be a couple of hours. Let's be realistic, it could be a couple of days. We've got a pen. Legend. Thank you so much. We're going to write our names on the walls of the Tilpa pub, and then...
Find a spot first, mate.
I reckon right out the front, mate. Oh, yes. That's the goods. Mate, that's a work of art, I've got to say.
Your turn, buddy.
You made me nervous watching you.
Look at that,
That looks great, mate. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. It actually took us a fair while to find a space to sign our name, but I think you'll admit, that looks pretty cool. Hey, listen, if you get a chance and you do stop into the Tilpa pub, give a couple of bucks to the Royal Flying Doctor Service and sign your name next to ours and take a photo. We'll post it on our Facebook page. Well, we ain't going anywhere in a hurry. Let's go back inside.
All right, pull up a few, mate.
What better place could you be, I reckon? The food was good and the beer was cold. Heck, 2 could have turned into 4 for all I cared. Better still, we had time to settle the Outback Yabby Challenge with a race in the Tilpa pub.
Ready? Face them out. Yep.
The way this works is that you draw a circle with a square in the middle. You place your yabby in the middle, and then it's pretty simple. The first yabby to crawl his way out of the circle is the winner.
All the way.
Mine hasn't even moved out of the box.
Let's do a yabby talk. Come on. No, they can listen to very high pitch frequencies, the yabby. There we go. We've got a late starter. A late starter. Come on. Come on. Come on.
The Yabby Champion of the world!
I went back. You went.
Yes!
That is.
Look at that Yabby. Born to race. Yes.
Right, put him back in here.
No, I don't. I'm going to take it straight down the river.
Become a prawn cock down there.
Oh, I can't do it. Now I'm going to eat my racehorse. Undisputed champion of the world. Finally, after 2.5 days, things were looking up with the roads. A few locals had been through and had given us the thumbs up. It was time to get back in the saddle. Alrighty, well, we've had quite the conundrum. We've had to make a few pretty hard decisions. You see, we've had a significant amount of rain out here. The Tilpa pub has had 18 mils in the last 36 hours, and the surrounding communities have had even more than that, which means a lot out here. Now, the roads, according to the last Weather and Roads update out here, all the roads are open. However, even just a cursory glance at those roads, even just walking down these roads, tells you can't drive on them. You're just going to cut them up. However, there is one road that has got a very firm base, and that's between the Highway Cobar and Tilpa. It's not the road we want to take. It's going in completely the wrong direction. However, you've just got to flow with things when you're out in the bush like this. When you're out in the outback, you've just got to go with the flow. And for us right now, it'd be foolhardy, it'd be irresponsible to take a road that we know is open. Legally, we can drive on it, but we shouldn't be. So we're going to go out our way, we know we can. The roads out here are the lifeblood of the community. If you cut them up, when they dry again, they become an absolute nightmare to drive on. It's illegal to drive on outback roads after it's been raining. If they haven't been closed, use your common sense. You shouldn't be driving on them if you're leaving wheel tracks. There are still a few puddles around, but it's nothing like it was 2 days ago. These roads are now open. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chapter 3. We've been on the road for the last week. Of course, we had to sit out the rain at Tilpa, waited for that to finish. Clouds are starting to part, the roads are dry, everything's open. So we're looking forward to finishing this up in grand style. As the sun gets higher, it's slowly but surely firming the roads up more and more, and we're making good headway. However, we're getting hungry, and Sean's got one thing on his mind. You betcha, chili yabbies.
Well, we just stopped on the side of the road. Feeling a bit peckish, about lunchtime, isn't it, mate?
Yes, mate, yeah.
Decided to cook those yabbies up we caught the other day. And the best way to do that, of course, is just over a bit of gas or a fire or something like that.
Yep.
We'll turn this on. What I'm going to do now is just chop up that chili, mate.
You know what this is looking like to me, Sean, and I don't mean to
I know.
cast aspersions or...
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say, mate?
You're going to say I've got one recipe when it comes to cooking anything with shellfish.
So what is this, chili yabbies?
Mate, just like my chili mud crab,
yes.
Chili yabbies.
So it is your chili mud crab, except you're using yabbies.
That's right.
Righto.
Here's my chilies.
Yep. So you're just going to take a bit of the heat off those and fry them up in a little bit there?
Fry them up there. Yep. Bit of garlic in the...
Don't be scared, mate.
Yeah, a bit of garlic there.
Don't be scared. Oh, that smells good. Smell-o-vision.
And now the key ingredient, mate, when you're doing chili yabbies...
It's chilies.
No, it's yabby.
Of course it is. But those little suckers.
Hey, mate. These, of course, have Being euthanised.
Is that all you're doing? Just put them straight in there.
Straight in, mate. The best thing, of course, is fresh yabbies. Now, they don't come any fresher than this, and oh, look at that. Put them straight in the pot. They should smell like the ocean, or in this case, the Darling River.
They smell like the ocean. We've gone way too far.
What Graham's doing here is he's tossing those yabbies. He's probably the best in the camp for tossing things.
I really am. I'm just trying to get that garlic and that
you've done well.
chilli all infused all around those yabbies.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit of salt and pepper, mate. Always find the higher you go, the more chef-like. Sorry, mate. You right?
Yeah, it's good.
What I want to do, mate, it's a bit crazy, but give me that pot for a second. I'm going to put a bit of water in here.
Yeah, I'll bring it to you.
I'm not going to go crazy with the water.
That'll do, donkey.
And what you'll start to see when the yabbies start to cook, this one here is just started to get warm, starting to go red, just like a mud crab.
Exactly the same, really, isn't it?
These are the little mud crabs.
They're little freshwater mud crabs.
Yabbies, so he's starting to go a bit red.
All right.
Now the best thing you can do now
whack a lid on him.
Is whack a lid on him and let it boil up, and the steam, in fact, of that little bit amount of water I chucked in the bottom of that pot is actually going to start to boil and start to cook those yabbies.
All right, well, I'll set the timer.
About 5 minutes, I'd say.
Done.
So we check these out.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, I wish this was smell-o-vision. Give them a turn. What do you reckon? Look at them. They're just, you pay a lot for these little suckers in a Sydney restaurant, wouldn't you?
They go nice and red like that. That's done, mate. So we'll turn that off.
Oh man, somewhere in here I'm eating my winning yabby. That just doesn't feel right. I gotta say though, even though it felt bad eating my race-winning yabby, it did taste pretty darn good. It would keep us full until we finish this Outback epic adventure. Oh no, just pull his head off like that. You get two halves. You get a top half and a bottom half. Pretty simple. I just run my fingers down the back and break the back. A number of different ways you can do it. I mean, there's no real process here, is there? It's all about just getting the meat out of the tail.
That's it. It's just, like you said, it's just a prawn, really.
It's just a big prawn. I'm going to have mine with a little bit of chilli on top, and then.
What do you reckon, mate? When you come to the Outback, I reckon you've got to do this. You've got
absolutely
to take the time.
have to.
It's fun catching them. It's even better eating them, folks.
Well,
that's sensational.
That chilli mud crab yabbies, minus the mud crab in Outback New South Wales, right here.
No, it is as good as it gets, mate.
Darling River behind us, it really is. I tell you what, it doesn't get much better than that. And I reckon, mate, we finish these off, get packed up and get on the road.
Yeah, sounds
good,
mate.
Done. Righto, Sean, turning off the blacktop, mate. Kinchega National Park. I've actually been looking forward to going into here. This place is, it's got some lakes, it's got the Darling running through it. It should be a nice little spot, but have a look at this darn cloud.
Yeah, mate, I was thinking the same. Look at pretty ominous clouds, mate. I can't take you anywhere.
Hopefully it skirts around us, mate. We can only try. Let's get going. Now, in keeping with the Darling River theme, we've decided we're going to take the River Road track on our way out to the lake. And what an amazing little drive it is. Let's drop in here and have a look at this weir, Shauna.
Yeah, good call, mate.
Struth. Have a look how many pelicans there are down here. It's like a pelican convention. It's a meeting point. Wow, look at that. It's amazing. It's a lot of pelicans.
It's crazy, isn't it? A lot of people think you only get the pelicans in coastal areas, but you see them all over the Outback when you've got good supplies of water.
The ecosystems out here are healthy and well, from the birds on the water, pelicans, shags, to the kites overhead, wallabies, kangaroos hopping around. We've seen an abundance of lizards as well. I tell you what, the Darling River region is alive and well. Anyone who says the Outback is dead, dry and dusty is wrong. There is so much wildlife out here. Pelican's actually quite interesting bird. There's 8 different species of pelicans all around the world. This is just one of them here, of course. They actually live, hunt and move in those colonies. So there's a chance to see those pelicans there. You might see all of them again somewhere else. They'll all be together in the same little colony there. Really quite an incredible bird. You know, there's fossil records stretching back 30 million years. 30 million years, a long time. Fossil records of the pelicans, yeah. So they've been around a heck of a long time, mate. I really like the pelican. I reckon he's a cool bird. That one is called a fish down there, then.
I'll tell you another thing about the pelican.
What's that, mate?
Well, his beak can hold more than his belly can. That's all you need to know about the old pelican.
It's not that funny. I'm going. This has been one heck of a journey. To this point so far, we've travelled just shy of 500 clicks. If you get a chance, come and check the Darling out. What a trip.
Hey mate, how's this terrain? It keeps changing every corner you take.
I was just thinking the very same thing myself. You know what, it's almost at times got a bit of a Simpson Desert look about it. And right now we can almost see the end. Shauno has been so excited about fishing this lake. He's been on the UHF for the last couple of hours. And after all the rain, I swear we could almost hear the lake lapping at the banks. This has got to be getting close. Shauno, got a copy?
Yeah, copy, mate.
We got to be getting close, mate. Lake Menindee, it's got to be around here somewhere. I reckon we just park up and walk directly over to our right-hand side, mate.
Yeah, copy that, mate. I'm going to bring a fishing rod too.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less from you, mate.
Yeah, I had a quick squiz at the website and they said expect to catch great catches of Murray cod, catfish, silver perch, all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty excited.
Righto, mate. I'll bring the camera, you bring the rod. Let's do this. Grab my mobile phone, take a photo of Shauno, catches his big fish. What are you getting here, mate?
Well, obviously the trophy is Murray cod. They get up to a metre.
Metre long Murray cod.
Big green fish, mate. The Darling's full of them.
Yep.
But there's heaps of perch down here.
Yellow belly?
Yellow belly, absolutely.
They're good,
I
eh? We could have them on the campfire tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'll catch a few.
Well, let's get one of those. Well, we've driven in the rain, we've sat in the rain, we've waited out the rain. Right now it's threatening to rain. Lake Menindee badly needs the rain. Tell you what folks, if ever you get the chance, grab it with both hands and do the Darling River run from Burke right the way down here to magnificent Lake Menindee, which right now is dry but is still one of the most epic sights you'll ever see, especially on a day like today with these clouds, this backdrop. I'm going to get down there and take a few photos in a second, but we cannot recommend more highly you get down and do the Darling River run through the outback of New South Wales. Stay at the stations, camp right next to the river, try and catch some yabbies. If you get any luck, try and catch a yellow belly as well. You're going to love it. You might see Shauno down here because he's going to go fishing. You might see me, you might not. You know the story by now, but you'll see me next time on four-wheel drive action. Mate, I'm going to go and get some photos.
Get some I'm not going to get any fish.
Get a lizard.
All right, I might do that.
Regardless of the fact that Lake Menindee is bone dry, it's still a spectacular sight. With the thousands of dead trees sticking up out of what is a barren, flat landscape against that stormy sky, really, I'm kind of glad there isn't water in here because you only get to see this sort of thing once every now and again. This just screams outback, and as far as I'm concerned, it couldn't have been a more fitting end to our Darling River journey. Well, there we go, folks. What an absolutely epic DVD. I won't forget this one for a very long time. The good news is, though, if you've enjoyed this DVD, we have got over 100 more. Simply follow the link below me right here, and you can download in high definition some of the best trips we've ever done. I'm talking the Cape, the Kimberley, Simo, Tasmania, pretty much everywhere in between. Get involved, have a look at it. I guarantee you there's something in there that you not only will enjoy, but you'll want to tell your mates about as well. And folks, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. You see, it comes out a couple of times a week. I'm involved, Shauno's involved, he's down there catching fish somewhere, and there is so much information that you can get from this. We're talking competitions. Look, you can actually win a competition to come on these very trips with us out here into the outback, the Cape, I don't know, the Kimberley, don't know where it might be, but you won't know either unless you sign up for the newsletter. There's behind the scenes videos that you don't get to see anywhere else. It's usually us goofing off or making mistakes, but heck, it's still worth seeing. There's also some fantastic deals on products that you're not going to get anywhere else. Trust me, sign up for the newsletter, it's well worthwhile. One last thing, folks, for some awesome four-wheel drive content and also to catch up with some like-minded people, we've got over 1 million, yeah, I'll say that again, over 1 million likes on the Australian Four-Wheel Drive Action Facebook page. Jump online, click the little like button, sit back and enjoy. There is so much content there that you are going to love.